Hello, good afternoon, YouTube. It's Friday, October 20th, I think it is. Sitting here about just a hair afternoon. Ripping milo stalks. I'm the ripper through them, what milo we had this year and worked last year, so we're doing it again. Just running straight into it, fertilizer, just getting spread, so just running right into it. Worked out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I should have narrowed my width down my ripper a little bit more than I did. Just kind of last year had like a long stalks where just kind of not ran wide, just kind of how I've got it set to make it look good to me or acceptable. And with the milo stalks, I kind of want to get as much dirt on them as I can. So try to work them up a little bit better. And that just covered the maximum width you can cover each time. It's a big help just to kind of keep things going. But so I could probably adjust it. I did adjust. I've adjusted it twice. I went down 6 inches. It's fine. It'll be fine. It was fine last year. It'll be fine. It's not burying them. That outside disc blade is kind of touching them when it kind of comes back. Yay or nay. Yeah, it's acceptable. It's fine. It's how it was last year. But I didn't adjust the width last year like I did this year, so I'm helping it, and it'll be fine. They'll set over winter and be just fine like last year. Heck, it worked fine, and we might run a disc over it this spring anyway. We just might. Yeah, it ain't gonna hurt. So, but we got less fodder here anyway, due to the milo being shorter or this variety being shorter. So. That will help too, but I mean, these blades being sharpened now, granted the stuff is standing up tall, no, I'm not getting a good cut, but it is, when I stopped earlier, it is really throwing it out, and getting a good cut on it, so it is doing good, and I'm happy. Let me get off this real quick and kind of show you, that's kind of what it's doing, but it's like leaving that strip. And it kind of comes and goes, but I think now it's mainly more, and I did not RTK out of the combine. I should have. The other day, the other time I ran pre GPS signal loss, or however you want to say that, where the FAA took away the one satellite we had we running off of. They took it away, so now we're on the other one. I think this one here is more sketchy, I guess I'll say, or more erratic. I'm just not very pleased with it. But the strip of milo is not its fault. It's just kind of operator error didn't go down small enough to offset that, but it's fine. It'll be fine. But I've noticed kind of a little bit on this that it's just kind of more finicky with this satellite. It is what it is. Whatever. I mean, ain't much you can do about it. But so making it work. Like I said, should have got the RTK deal. I mean, I'll remember that. And if you didn't remember that, hopefully tomorrow, or maybe have the higher, well, I'm going to have the iPad run the RTK. So, yeah. It's the house. Sometime the hired man gets here, it'll be already done. So, but anyway, yeah, I'll need the RTK would be a big help. And you're paying for it, you might as well use it. And that's kind of my theory. I just didn't do it. Everything's kind of went wrong the last 3 days trying to get stuff done. We got 2/10 of an inch of rain. Yes, well, no, I guess I'll say yesterday morning, overnight morning. I ended up putting, I'll back up a little bit. Hired guy was running a field cultivator. The depth adjust on the DMI Tiger Make 2, it broke. I snapped it clean in two. Had been broke for a while, we noticed. Just barely like a half inch somewhere in that vicinity. But it just basically snapped it right in two. So it's in the middle of a field, or far into the field. It is now fixed, but I got the last one in North America. There is not one more in North America. And it was at one of my nearby Berkeley locations, so they got it shuttled in for me. So it's on put together. Now the next day, I was running this Steiger with corn stalks in a field, and kind of was just rolling along, doing just fine, and kind of made a turn going back. I was laying off land, just getting ready to do some real short rows, or shorter rows in a 40-acre field. And I started smelling diesel fuel, and I couldn't figure out. I'm like, well, I filled up the tractor with fuel, and then I just didn't smell it. So I just started a little bit ago and got to look into my right-hand corner where the exhaust is, like it's just kind of like a film. So I shut it down, went out and looked, and I couldn't see anything leaking anymore. I seen it in the motor, the block was all wet, and that whole side was just kind of all nasty looking. So I called the dealer, ended up walking now 3/4 mile to my truck, starting to walk, and a guy gave me a ride, so got that and gave me a ride. I appreciate that to him. Dealer come out, looked at it, and said a fuel line had busted. So they pretty well said, well, hey, I guess I'll back up a minute. So in the meantime, I'll go start planting wheat with the planter. It's ready to go. We put wheat in, started planting. Epic fail again. Yeah, it is the guy at my dealer, I give him an A+ for helping. The guy with the case gave him some stuff to work on. A little bit of phone support, but he kept saying we have a back issue. We have a back issue. There's something wrong with your back. Well, come out and give a guy a hand. You sell a product that thing you basically will not support or come out and do is where I have a complaint. You say it'll plant wheat, well, prove it to me, because I've never was trying to plant 1.3 million seeds of wheat per acre, and yeah, could not ever get it. That would equal to 38 seeds in basically a 10-inch space. I'll say it that way, however you want to say it. Basically, you need 38 seeds of wheat in a 10-inch space underneath the row. So, never could get it. And the guy stayed there 2 hours. We was trying to get it. He was talking to him some, and he kept saying, you got a back issue, you got a back issue. It's supposed to be able to run 18 to 20 on the back. It didn't even get close. Wasn't even funny how far off we were. Which, like I've always told, it's like I told the guys, I'm always up on that 30 plus. 36, she maxes out in the back. It just can't do anymore. So we ran it up about that 32. We got better. I mean, we got better, but it never did. I never was happy. I never have been happy without planted wheat. That is my complaint. I've talked to a place in Ohio about it, and they basically said that 100 meter will not plant wheat. They said they've tried to make one a plate, and if they were going to make it, they won't plant wheat. They won't plant wheat, period. And he said there's not enough demand for us to worry about doing one. Anyway, so I put a little. I didn't fill the planter up. Thank God. After I thought about that a minute, I'm like, nope, I won't fill it up because I want to make sure if it has issues, I plant it out and I'm done. So I ended up putting about 19 acres of wheat in there. Ended up having to take 5-gallon bucket and bucket wheat across another hopper to get me all evened out. So emptied it out, called it good. Then the guy texted me that night. He had to go back and get the number off the motor or something so they could order parts. Ended up they had the hoses the next morning by 10 o'clock, which it had rained anyway, so we weren't in the field per se yet, or weren't working. So they got the hoses. Great job on that. I commend them. I was not ever expecting them to ever have hoses that quick. The next morning, got the wheat planter all cleaned out, put it in the shed. It's out of the way, done. Our retailer's going to airflow the wheat on. I love 15-inch wheat. I love how it comes up. I hate airflow wheat. I absolutely hate airflow wheat. Because you light it on top. We use our crumbler to incorporate it. We're going to run it twice this year. We ran it once last year. Dry year, you're screwed. I just said we had last year. Just was not very happy. Never got good growth. 2 weeks later now are basically the same thing. So it is what it is. Work with the hand you're dealt. But kind of some guys said you could plant 30-inch wheat, come back and offset it. But you got to run it twice. If I can run 5 miles an hour, First time, I'm still running 2.5 until next time. So, did I gain? No, I'm not gaining. Yeah, I mean, that is my complaint with Case. And I've seen on many ag talk forums that people are not happy with the inch for Case planter. It can't plant enough. And I wish it would, because I got a planter to use. I like it. I love cutting it. I love planting beans behind it. But in my opinion, don't buy wheat plates for it, because it will not work. If the Seed-Right place in Ohio ever gets a plate and they say it'll work, I will buy one from them in a minute. Because a lot of guys with deer are running them and getting my grade. So I will do that in a minute and not think twice about it, because I think that is a great company and I like what they're doing on the wheat, and I think that would be a great asset to have is that. But as far as with Case, I will not buy 15-inch plate, period. The only way would be, it would be for my 30-inch planter, or if we bought a 21, or a 21, 40, no, 21, I'm gonna think about that. If we bought a split row Case, the newer style, that'd be the only way I would ever buy a 15-inch plate, which I'd buy that for Precision. It's the same thing, Precision, okay, whatever you want to say. It's an exact basic Precision, basically whatever makes it. Now I would like, and my sale, or not my sale, but the guy that was out helping me trying to get going, and I appreciate that. Great job. I appreciate what he did. He did great. Said something about an air seeder. He needs an air seeder. I'm like, hey, bring me a demo. 15-inch wheat. I want to see it. I want to see what it'll do. I know the Precision will work. I know it'll work, because I'm not going to pay a ludicrous price for Precision planter when I think beans would help on Precision. Once again, going back to the Vex ROI thing, it's not as crucial as corn. Not saying milo is really crucial, but I just don't see it being there for the beans. I mean, you can basically do a controlled spill on beans and be fine. I mean, now I know we're not doing that anymore. But any singulation from the planter is better when it drills good. So the air seeder does sound good though, because you could also use that to plant beans. I do like that theory. I don't know, it just seems kind of interesting. We want to be able to use starter though, and I don't know, I think he said it's possible. Starter on beans I see being, or maybe not starter, but adding some stuff to it. And I can't say much on that right now. But we had a trial this year on a stuff, me and another guy in our area. We got a starter kit for our beans, or starter rows for our bean planter, and we're both going to test the product out. Very, very pleased, very, very pleased. But my only my only drawback that I don't like about it, it's not a drawback, it's just that you can't run nothing else but this product. It's not liquid fertilizer ready to mixable. It can be used for corn as well. Same thing, no fertilizer, just straight product. So, I mean, that kind of, I like to play with some fertility in beans. I know in furrow I can't do as much. Some other guys, the other guys went to put ATS, they sprayed ATS down, but they're looking at trying to do in furrow 2x2 one precision planting deal. I think to run ATS in furrow or off to the side. Now I think that's got some merit. From what results I've seen, what they did on spraying over the top, I think that's really got some merit. Gonna do some of that next year, trial and error with it, but pretty cheap sulfur way to get it. I think the in-furrow way would be a lot better. 2x2 or either way you want to put it off to the side. I think that really does have some merit, like everything else we're seeing. and again, who knows? But I think that's got some good merit. Who knows? Time will tell, but we're supposed to have a meeting on it sometime in, I think, December to talk about it. And we talked to, and I can't tell you who the guy was. We talked to a guy, an agronomist at some university. It wasn't too high, it was somewhere away from here, and I can't tell you where it was at now, guys. I kind of forgot. Talked to him about it, and with the rep to give us the product, and he was very, very pleased and shocked it was that high. And mind you, we were in a, not a drought pattern, but a very, very dry pattern that I don't think we really got hurt. I'm doing ditches, guys. Hang on. And that's kind of what we said. And for both of us, really, we was in a dry area that we can't say we ever was. We was wet there late, like the last few days of June, July, but we can't really say it ever got really wet to really say it really paid. But I mean, like he said, it did something. Now he said, and I may be wrong on this, so maybe I probably shouldn't say it, but I think he said they were up north, way up north, like Minnesota and all that. They were trying to see if it would suppress white mold. Now we had that one year, and man, it was bad. And he talked about how bad it is way up there. I mean, wow, I never had seen a bean. Yeah, it's just a nightmare what it could do. But I mean, it's got some merit. We'll know more here next year. And seed guy asked about milo, if it worked in milo, and he said, I really don't know. So I don't know. I mean, I always got to look at fertilizer and flush out, but then I always do want to flush it out and flush water out in it. So not that we ever put a starter on milo, but we kind of water it down because everybody said don't choose a milo crop with a starter. That seed's so dang minute, and you could have issues. So we've always watered it out whenever I had left, or I flushed my tank out. And go like good, which that's why I kind of like having the milo. You can really flush out that tank good with just straight water. It works quite well. And it kind of helps get the, not crap out of the tank, but just kind of the starter residue crap in there. So I guess I drum all of it up. It's almost 17-minute video. But well, anyway, I put the 310 tractor I bought. I put it on a 11-6 plow. The feelers on the disc. Cultivators, well, for my way, about a mile that way, mile and a half, set to the field. Puts on the disc and just kind of it's set since the night of rain. But nope, I'm working this. We'll go to a corn stalk field where the guy can take over for me, and then I will go back and go with a 310 and start to find out our grain bins. Got a little strip I'm leaving there next to the grain bin so I can blow off the corn header sometime. We get a little shower, I can blow it off and get out of the way. Kind of do it in the field and kind of bury all the crap back up. But I want to run the ripper over it, kind of really break up that compaction when we're in the semi around the bin and all that. But that's my update, guys. I'll turn you around real quick. Got to see kind of what we're doing. Well, you kind of see that side, that's Rima stalks, but it's working. I did, see, I'm running my disc. I flipped the hitch around because I kind of thought I wasn't quite level the other day, so I kind of flipped it around to make it kind of more level, I guess. I mean, I don't know, I have a hard time ever judging it, and really it's a two-person job to have somebody judge it with you. It's just kind of awful hard to do that, but one person. But making it work, do as much as you can. Uncle helped me with the 310 yesterday, kind of get it leveled, because I kind of thought I was nose diving, and I wasn't quite sure, but it's hard to tell. You stop a tractor, it kind of pitches up on you, so you don't really know yay or nay if that's what you was doing. So, which he kind of thought I had it pretty close. I mean, the front end is not going in much at all, which that's, I mean, that if you don't need it, you don't need it. That's fine. So that's no big deal there. It's working. That's it. Then I hope y'all enjoy, and I'll just talk to you later.